And we're back. What's up, guys? Here live, episode 123 of the Dosage podcast. Tonight we bring to you the year 2008 in gaming. Live here tonight with guests iRob and the one, the only, the wild one, Ty.
Hello.
You got a way better introduction than I did.
I deserve it, honestly.
Yeah, but you're the,
You do.
I can't dub you as the one and the only. You're iRob version 4.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, what did you do to the other 3 versions, iRob?
They came before me.
That's generally how it works.
Interesting.
Version
I
3 is
don't buy
technically still with us.
It's
I
true.
don't buy
Technically.
it.
What does technically mean? Is everything okay?
Yeah, see? I don't buy it.
And we do have a version 5 as well now. So
Oh,
There is 3 generations right there. Now you got me concerned about version 3. Should I check in on him?
no, he's good. He's
I
good.
bet.
Okay, what's
He's
up,
the same
Bat?
ornery self he always has been.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for the host, Batman. I like that one. AOL. You wouldn't know, Ty.
You've got mail.
I do know.
I'm just
Actually.
teasing. So tonight we're going to bring to you our top 10 lists of the year 2008 in gaming. We have worked very hard on this list, and let me tell you, we said that prior episodes were somewhat difficult as far as compiling a list. I feel like this is going to be a continued trend for most years from here on out until we get to present day, because this was a period of time where I had a lot of time in being able to play gaming. And this was a conversation we had off air.
I didn't even have a hard time making a top 10. So that's
That's saying something. A guy that couldn't get a top 10 before was able to compile one. So,
with honorable mentions.
see, he's going
Ooh.
above and beyond now.
I don't even have honorable mentions.
See, now he's an overachiever. He's going to make us all look bad. Let's paint the picture, though. That
I already make you look bad whenever I'm on camera, Trev.
It's true.
Ooh.
It's true. And if you guys didn't notice, if you're watching the video version, he's got a little green screen thing going now. Look at that. He's all fancy.
Mhm.
No, I'm stepping into the modern era.
He is. Moving on up.
And I'm on the couch.
You are on the couch. This time actually here with us and not just silent on the couch.
I'm opening up. I'm coming out of my shell, you know?
About time. What's up, Trevor? Trevor in chat. And of course, you guys can chat with us during these live broadcasts. Generally, they're on Tuesday nights. Well, I was off on Tuesday this week because I was at a concert and it was hella mega cool. And we're doing this Wednesday this week. But if you want to be part of the conversation, join us on Tuesday nights is when we record our podcast episodes, whether it be The Dosage or our movie or music review podcasts. Our other podcast usually takes place on Sundays. There won't be one this upcoming Sunday because Cody is out, unless Trevor wants to go solo, but I think the plan was just to take that Sunday off, is my understanding. Trevor, you're in chat. Speak up and let us know otherwise. But again, that is
Speak
the
now or
NOW.
forever hold your peace.
Truth. That is the NOW podcast, Nerds of Wrestling. They talk wrestling. If you like wrestling, you're in the right place because we are a wrestling-focused channel. But that's not all we do here. We just have a lot of wrestling fans that have congregated here. And that's okay because wrestling is cool. Trevor
And
says
nerdy.
it is nerdy. It isn't. It is, yeah. Would you define wrestling as nerdy? I would say wrestling is a nerdy thing. Trevor says...
If it's
go ahead.
my thing is, if you can obsess over it, it can be considered nerdy. So wrestling would be nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, even food is considered nerdy. They're food nerds.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I feel that, Trevor. I just knew that was that
Thank you for the host, MX. Trevor says, shrug, I just show up when Cody tells me. I mean, fair. It's a fair thing to do. Let's paint the picture, though, that was 2008 in gaming. I'm going to start off with the best-selling video games of 2008 in the U.S. Let's see how these rank in our lists later on in the episode. This is kind of a spoiler. Maybe these made our lists, maybe they did not. But again, these are the best-selling games. That doesn't necessarily mean they came out in the year 2008 for this particular list that I'm about to share. The picks that we had did come out in 2008. That's the rules for our lists. Here are the best-selling games. Number 10, Mario Kart DS. Number 9, Madden NFL 09. Number 8, GTA 4 on the PS3. Gears of War 2 at number 7. Call of Duty World at War at number 6. Number 5, GTA 4 on the 360. Number 4, Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii. Wii Fit for number 3. Mario Kart Wii for number 2. And Wii Play at number 1. Honestly, this is a logical top 4 list, as the best-selling console at this time was the Wii. It was a hard to find, and it was being... I mean, everybody, grandma, everybody had this damn system. The old folks' home, everybody had it. Wii Play was a great follow-up. Wii Fit, we'll get to more in that as this one goes on, as well as some of these other games. We'll find out, too, if they're in your honorable mentions or in your top 10. Let's kick things off. Ty, you said you did not have an honorable mentions, correct?
Yes, sir. No honorable.
None for you. Rob, let's hear your honorable mentions.
Okay, my honorable mentions for 2008, I have Army of Two, which was actually just a little different. I feel like it need to be noted. It was one of the few games where it actually was way better if you had a friend to play with, instead of relying on the computer for that one. Then I had Condemned 2, which just threw in there because basically I watched you play that, and it was fun. And then for me, just the Guitar Hero World Tour, I remember that one that we played, that specific one, a couple times. It just added some new things to the game that we already knew.
True.
Those were my honorable mentions.
That is a great list of honorable mentions. Like I said, this was a busy year for gaming. That's how I preface this. So hold on to your butts, because I have a few honorable mentions. I'm not going to dwell on a lot of these, but I am going to fly through them. Burnout Paradise. If you have not played this game, there is a remastered version of it on Game Pass. I highly recommend it. Shout out to MX for stopping by. Shout out to Joe as well. And Will Zona in chat. How are you? Welcome to the show. But again, Burnout Paradise Remastered, available on Game Pass. I think it's still on there. If you haven't played it yet, honestly, check it out. Amazing game. And Wicked wants you to play the game with him. Wicked After Dark, join him for his streams. Wicked has played Burnout Paradise already. If you've missed that episode, that is available in our archives on youtube.com/Dose of Nerd Acumen. Check it out today, and go give Wicked some company. He's on super late or super early, depending on where you're at. He's in Hawaii, so figure it out.
He's in the middle of everybody.
Yeah, figure it out. I don't know how to do all that. That's math. That's too much work. But check him out. Turn on those alerts. When you see him go live, say hi. Continuing on, honorable mentions. Lost via Domus. A lot of people are going to be like, why the hell would you shout this game out? Because in all honesty, this game was garbage. It was...
But you were a giant Lost fan.
That's exactly it. I was a giant fan, so finding any additional consumable media from this show, I was all about it. And it was an incredibly short game, like 3 to 4 hours. It was just a broken mess. Like, it barely worked well. And it was fine. Like, the game was fine. But the show was amazing. One of my favorite shows of all time, still to this day. If you haven't seen that show, check it out. Continuing on, Bully Scholarship Edition. We've talked about Bully on this series before. I'm not going to dive too much further into it, but basically this is the Scholarship Edition, as it's dubbed.
I did have that written down, but I decided not to because it was kind of just a re-release of Bully. So...
I mean, you can add re-releases. It's just like how we've talked about DS games that are like a re-release of a Super Nintendo game on the DS or Game Boy Advance. That's allowed. Re-releases are allowed.
Okay, then that one would have at least been an honorable mention for me as well. So,
as it should be. It's a fantastic game. If you haven't played it yet, this is the definitive way to play this game, as it adds more classroom content to the game and a few other things. And it's slightly improved mechanically, visually. It's just a fun game in general. Check out Bully. I've done it on Classics Lounge. Check that out. Also in honorable mentions, Army of Two. You mentioned that one. Good game, better with a friend. God of War Chains of Olympus. That's a PSP game. Pretty solid for a PSP game. Silent Hill Origins. Smash Brothers Brawl. You're probably surprised by that one, that it didn't make in my top 10 if you know anything about me.
I thought that was going to be number one.
For me?
Like, when I saw that, I thought it was going to be your number one.
My number one?
Yeah, I did.
I feel like you have a lot to learn about me for 2008.
Yeah, I probably was like, didn't have any knowledge of you when I was 8.
So here's the thing. The reason I give it an honorable mention and not even a top 10 was because Melee for GameCube was the better Smash Bros. Game. While this wasn't a bad one, I didn't love it as much as that. So it doesn't get that much compared to the other things in my top 10. And you'll understand why when we get there. So I'll probably get some hate for a lot of people who love it no matter what. But I just got to be honest with myself. It's an honorable mention.
Yeah, it's your opinion, bro.
It
You
is.
know?
And I'm right because it's my opinion.
You know what they say about opinions. Careful with opinions.
What did they say?
Careful with opinions.
That's all they say is just careful with him?
Yeah, that's what Bull Burnham says.
It's true.
Careful with opinions.
He says a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about like us saying a lot of things and why do we need to?
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Have we just tried not saying anything?
Oh no, we'd never do that.
No, not us. Not us. That's
That
not.
would kind of defeat the purpose of doing a podcast if we didn't say anything.
Could you imagine we just stare at each other for an hour and then go off the air? Could you
Yeah.
do that for an hour?
I could do it
You could?
if it were Cody, sure.
Good Lord. So would that get
To
you
be
to
honest,
be on
if it was
camera?
him for an hour or two, so
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? The four of us, when Cody returns, we do an episode where we just stare at each other for an hour, and the first one to break has to order the rest of us pizza or something.
Okay, sounds easy to me.
That is a future episode, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here. And Cody just has no choice in the matter because he wasn't here to defend himself. So
Yeah,
he has volunteered for that battle.
he's been voluntold.
I'm
Majority
basically
rules.
Yes.
I'm basically his secretary at this point, and I like to say that he agrees. So
We're
You're
down.
just gonna pencil it. You're gonna pencil it into his schedule. He'll be
Yeah.
here.
yeah,
You're hearing ideas happen live on the air. That's how we do things here in DNA. You're in the right place if you want insanity, because that's what this place is at times. Continuing on, Condemned
Yes.
2 Bloodshot. Rob, you mentioned that. Fun horror game. I wish they would have continued the series, but I understand why they did not. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, Mario Kart Wii. Again, same feelings on Smash Bros. Double Dash then to Mario Kart Wii was kind of a downgrade. Thankfully, we have a better Mario Kart out now. Wii Fit, because the damn Wii Fit board judges you. When you go to stand on it, it goes, oh. Like, what you mean, oh?
I never had that happen to me.
that
So
is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Did you play
I
Wii
would-
Fit? It's
I
not
would love
okay
to
to. No, it's that game is. It's a. It's insulting.
I would love
Okay.
to get body shamed by Wii Fit, honestly. That would be hilarious.
Well,
I just step on the board and they're like, oh shit.
or it's like, ouch. What do you mean, ouch?
That would literally kill me.
Yeah,
what else you got, Trev?
we didn't play it an awful lot. Our idea was just like Ring Fit for the Switch. We were like, yes, this is gonna get us active and more involved because it's a game. It didn't work then, and it's not working now. So,
Yeah, that's going in the random laugh bank right there.
Yeah.
You just step on the board and it says, oh.
it was bad.
Oh.
It was bad. It's a real thing too. Like it's just how it's programmed. Continuing on, Lego Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures, Mario Super Sluggers, Alone in the Dark, Guitar Hero Aerosmith, Guitar Hero 3: Legends of Rock, Rock Band 2, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. If you haven't played that, honestly, a return to great Star Wars games. I know it's in my honorable mentions, but it's high up there in my honorable mentions. If you haven't played it or heard of it, do yourself a favor, check that one out. I believe it is part of the Game Pass thing with the EA thing. Download it when you have a chance. Play that game. You will have a good time. They made a second one as well. We'll come up in future years talking about that. And maybe it'll rank higher. Is it a better game than the first? Is it worse? I don't know. We'll talk about it later. This one is a game that came out on PS3 this year. I don't know if a lot of people have ever heard of it. But if you are into RPGs, you probably have. And if you're into RPGs and you haven't heard of this one, do yourself a favor. And this is another one I highly recommend. It's called Eternal Sonata. It's themed around music. And it's a just real neat artistic style to RPGs. And it was a really fun game. Check it out. If you can find it, it's probably super cheap.
And these are all still just your honorable mentions for this year.
Yes, that's what I said. I had a list. Continuing on. Lego Batman, the video game. Silent Hill Homecoming. Guitar Hero World Tour. Call of Duty World at War. WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. And Mirror's Edge. Those are my honorable mentions, and I'm so sorry that I talked your ear off with so many of those. But
I'm surprised for Mirror's Edge. You really liked that game.
I really did like Mirror's Edge. But there are 10 games that I liked more than Mirror's Edge that year. But Ty, since we haven't heard from you, we'll start with you, go to iRob, and then end with me as far as rotation. Ty, will you kick us off with your number 10?
All right. So let me just say that I have not actually played this game, but the title really, really grabbed my attention. Number 10 for me is Destroy All Humans, Big Willie Unleashed.
Did you say Big Willie Unleashed?
Yes, Big Willie Unleashed. What a wonderful name for a game.
Was that a full release? Is that DLC?
Yes,
I've never heard of that one. I've heard of Destroy All Humans.
I've heard of Destroy All Humans. I've actually played Destroy All Humans. But Big Willie Unleashed, I did not hear of this one. So when I saw it on the wiki page for 2008 releases, I was like, wow, what a game that must have been.
He's like, don't judge my search history, but I found it.
Big Willie Unleashed.
That sounds like an early album in the 90s from Will Smith.
He did have Big Willie style, didn't he?
He did have Big Willie style. And then Willennium.
Yeah, it would have been like right in that.
Yeah, keeping the theme going. And then like a hit movie in the 90s was also called Free Willy. So
I think you're stretching, but
that's what she said.
On a good day.
Yikes. Continuing on.
So my number 10, I had Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures. Not much need to go into it. It's a Lego game with Indiana Jones. Good, cheap fun.
What movies were in that one? Do you remember?
I think it was the first 3, because I know, and a little spoiler, that later they release with Crystal Skull as its own release later. I know that.
Yeah, because there was a second Lego Indiana Jones game. Was there only 2 or was there 3?
There might be 3. I'm pretty sure this had the original 3 movies in it. They might have released more later. I'm not.
Does it incorporate the hit 90s television show, The Young Indiana Jones?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you remember that show at all?
No.
No. I remember I watched it for like a minute when I was a kid. I was super into Indiana Jones, so I thought it was cool.
It's not bad movies. And then, so what was rolling for your number 10, Trav?
My number 10 is actually one that I'm considering playing on Friday. I know I just spoke on not doing like some extra stuff, but Cody's out, so there's probably nothing planned at all for this weekend. But Friday, for those that don't know, it is Wednesday, August 11th. Friday is Friday the 13th. No, it's not a Friday the 13th game. Yeah. So I'm thinking of something spooky, but also fun. So I considered...
Friday the 13th, the game, I'm good at that.
Are you good at that? Maybe we'll have to play that on stream.
I'm very good at that.
I want to see how good you're at that game. Maybe we'll play that as well on Friday, but one of the ones that I want to do definitely is Left 4 Dead. If you haven't played this... I
know you talked a bunch about this for a long time, this game.
Have you played it?
I have not.
Man.
I've watched you play it.
Highly recommend it. For those curious about the game, Back 4 Blood is inspired buy this one and the sequel, and that is coming out in October. Mikey says, I've spent so many hours in Left 4 Dead. See? Do you still have a copy, Mikey? Maybe you can join us on Friday. Wicked also played so many hours here in chat, he says, of Left 4 Dead. See? So there are some people that are really into it, or you're just not familiar with it. There's no like middle grounds. Mikey, yeah, if you can find one, man, we should do that. I think that would be fun. It's a game more fun with friends. So it would have to be super early. Yeah, Wicked, your schedule is obviously so different than ours with where you're at. But it's zombies. That's basically it. You go through like linear maps to get to the end, and you have a team of 4, and you all have different classes. And yeah, the NPCs in the game are horrible. And they're different zombie types. Some throw up on you. There's like these like yeah. There's like what are they? The witches. I think that they're what they're called. You hear them crying off in the distance, and then if you get too close or spook them, they just freak out and come at you. And then there's like Juggernaut ones. It's a really good game. Maybe that'll happen Friday, so be on the lookout for that. But that's my number 10.
Right. So my number 9?
Yep.
My number 9 is iRob's number 10, Lego Indiana Jones. I love Lego games. I don't really know any other way to explain it.
You don't really have to.
Yeah.
We've covered them other years. They're just fun games. Like
they're calming, they're relaxing games. Like there's something special.
The little building animation where you're just really quickly throwing all the bricks together never gets old.
The sound effect, it's so satisfying. And like when you get the little like gold pieces, the red pieces,
the studs.
Yeah. When you collect me in the game, like it's so satisfying. Hold on.
You want a better explanation, Trevor?
There you go.
You won't get one, buddy.
And we can transition right into my number 9 because I have Lego Batman.
Ooh, keeping the Lego theme going.
Yeah, they were my 10 and number 9, and kind of the same thing we already hit on. If you're into anything Batman, it's Lego with it. It's just fun.
And that one, honestly, is a super solid one. Like the design, the level design, the music. If you're unfamiliar with the Batman music, get yourself familiar.
And I did not know this game came out 2008. Like Lego Batman, I didn't know it came out 2008 because me and my family played it for like years in 2015. So it really stood the test of time.
And it still does. It's still a great game.
All of the Lego stuff, because it's Amy's favorite stuff is those. So like when she wants me to play games with her, that's what she wants to play. So we're still playing all of them randomly. So they hold up pretty good.
They do. I am super excited though for the Skywalker Saga, which is going to be the next Lego game coming out. It'll be all 9 movies. We've talked about that before on the channel if you've been here a while. But I can't say it enough because I am excited. It's a game that myself and my entire family is going to put a lot of time into because it's such a great family-friendly type game. It's easy to play, easy to pick up, and it's fun for everybody. Batman says, I've met Lego Batman. The voice actor? Who voiced him?
Will Arnett.
Was it Will Arnett?
He barely says anything the whole game.
Well, he probably means the movie, though. I don't know.
Because I'm thinking the game, he really doesn't speak.
No, they didn't at first. They added voices later in the series, and then they started like ripping from the movies and stuff, like voice lines, and then making it obviously kid friendly for some of the scenes that weren't.
I'm pretty sure that's Will Arnett is who does the voice
your number 9 a Lego game as well, Travis?
It is not. Batman says know a guy in a full-size Lego Batman outfit about 7 feet tall. So he legit met a guy in costume. That's cool. That's super cool. No, my number 9 is a little different. This is another one you'd probably ask why it's low, as it should be higher. But again, other games I felt were better at this time period. Animal Crossing City Folk. I am a huge Animal Crossing fan, but this one, for whatever reason, didn't rank as high. And I just think it's one of those situations where I just didn't put as much time into this particular one in the franchise. And there were other games higher on my list. When I say them, you'll understand, because you'll be like, if you knew me back then, especially if you know me now, you're like, okay, that makes sense. That's more your game over this one, at least in that period of time. But yeah, number 9, love Animal Crossing. Nothing bad to say about the franchise. But there are other games this year that are better than that one.
All right, number 8. Are we moving straight on?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 8 for me is Cooking Mama World Kitchen. I like cooking, and Cooking Mama has always been a comfort game for me. I just sit there and cook and be judged by a mama.
So this has been
Even
brought
better
up.
than mama.
Better than Mama. I'm trying to remember if I swear I've played one of these games, but I don't remember them enough to even quote anything like that from it. How many of these games are there? Because I'm familiar with the name, and it's been brought up in prior years now. Cody had that on their list, and I believe you did as well, right?
I did.
So,
How many Cooking Mamas are there?
yeah.
Let's find out. 1, 2.
What is this? The center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have an owl with
All
glasses to tell us?
Cooking
We have you.
Mama games.
Did you say I look like an owl?
You have glasses on, and you're a wise old man.
I don't know about the wise
There.
part.
If I wasn't talking about you, then who was I talking about? Awkward silence. And hold on, let's do that joke again, since I got laughter only on IRAB. If I wasn't talking about you or Ty, then who was I talking about? Did I answer to the laugh track?
All right, so there are approximately 21 Cooking Mama games, including handheld spin-offs, console, babysitting. There's a
Babysitting?
Babysitting Mama. Yes, there are a lot of Cooking Mama games, even Facebook games, apps.
That's too
Wii,
much.
3DS, DS.
Okay, then.
That's too
Never
much.
enough Cooking
It's
Mama,
too
if you
much.
ask me.
Mikey says, "Yo, we the spectacled. Resent your glasses / L remark." And then Batman says, "No, you're a hoot."
Batman wins that one. His
Killing
was
me.
better. But
That's good stuff.
rolling right into my number 8 here, I actually have Wii Fit as my number 8.
What?
Oh.
Yes. And it's that high up for me just because I did enjoy some of the things on there, and one of my favorite memories from it was Amy and her friend Roxanne complaining that the balance game was insanely hard, and me going on it and getting a perfect score the first time I ever tried to play the game.
Like a boss.
Those lower to the ground have better balance, though.
Oh,
Truth, but that is Amy's shorter than I am, so
I guess you got a point.
no, it comes into the fact that from all of my knee surgeries I had, that was part of strengthening your knee, is you have to balance on one foot a lot, so I just have good balance.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I should balance on one foot.
So that was that's why it's that high. There's a fond memory of showing up my wife from playing that game. So
it's a bragging rights memory. I'm better than you. Did you ever get insulted by the board when stepping on it?
No, because I wasn't fat back then.
Wow, cool.
Are you saying Travis was? Because he got insulted.
No, I'm saying I am now. If I stepped on it now, it would yell, "Get off me!" But
so to be fair, January 1st, 2007 was the last time. Well, technically December 31st, 2006, but my first day smoke free. The last time I had a cigarette, January 1st, 2007. From 2007 to 2008 to those coming years, I did put on a little bit of weight. I gave up smoking.
Because food tastes good again.
The food tasted good, and I had to have that addiction replaced with candy. I ate a lot of Altoids because I was a menthol smoker, and I ate a lot of Reese's Pieces And then I would always have at my desk when I worked in a call center back then, because that's when I started working in call centers. I would have a 2-liter Mountain Dew every single day. So like sugar, candy, calories. And then I would eat like microwave burritos, which I still do. But
There is nothing wrong with microwave burritos.
there is, though. It's
Correct.
there is. Anyone with diabetes will tell you there is.
Good thing I don't have it.
Not yet. Give it time.
Yet.
You just made the list. DKA with the resub times 21 making the list. Thank you, sir, for that.
Quick shout out. Did see his pictures in his
Wowie.
classroom today. So nice job on you there, DKA.
Yeah,
So, there you
he
go.
started, was it eighth grade, man? I think.
Yeah, 8th grade teacher, Mr. A. Mr.
Damn.
DKA.
Nice work, man. Trevor says if I stepped on the board back then, it wouldn't have said anything. It would have been very small pieces. Yeah.
As a 235-pound man, I think the board would have said "oh" to me as well.
Yeah, that's what I weigh
Anyway.
as well. I weigh
Hey.
the same. We're 235 buddies. How you doing?
Hey, that is an odd coincidence.
Yeah, but I think you're
Anyway.
taller than me, though, aren't you?
I am. I'm 6 foot tall.
You see, you got an inch on me. That's what he said.
Put it on me.
Wicked
What's our
says
number?
Wicked has a workout plan, so maybe that's the next video series. Do you want to see working out Wicked workouts? That's a show. What the
There you
hell?
go.
We're sitting on gold, Wicked workouts at like 3 a.m. Who wants to work out Wicked style?
Wicked workouts.
Dude,
I have a feeling there might be some Fago involved,
I
but
don't give a damn. That is a show. Make it happen, please.
it is a show. We need that to happen.
Please.
Working out
He's
with
also a
Wicked.
chef too, so we need to bring back the
Yes.
cooking shows. We had
Cooking.
that a long time
Rachel
ago on the channel, but it needs to come back again.
And he needs to do the cooking in full face paint like his character.
He will,
He
though.
will
so
too. That's the thing. He would do that. Oh man.
Trev, what you got for number 8, man?
Sorry, just communicating with the chat here. They have some things to say tonight. I'm proud
I
of
know.
them.
But you told me to make sure we stayed on track,
We
man.
are
I'm
on
trying
track,
to
damn it. We're doing really well. Mikey's here with us too, so he knows. Shout out to DK too. He finally got his PS5 that he won 3 months ago. It's been a bitch to find. We found it, he got it, and I'm so happy he's playing Astro's Playroom. He said he's doing that in Fall Guys. Astro's Playroom is fantastic. That's another game you guys should check out if you don't.
Is that your number 8?
That is not. I'm building a segue here. Give me a moment. Mikey says, seriously, though, I get all my energy at 3 a.m. Mikey, help him out. Wicked workouts, 3 a.m. That needs to be a thing. Can't say it enough. DK has played the system twice, been too busy. Understandable. I understand busy schedules, but I'm happy you have it. I'm happy you got to play it. Let me ask you this. Is it bigger than you thought it'd be? Anyways, Lana first. And DK loves cooking, about to pull his salmon out. He's going to pull his salmon out.
I love me some salmon.
Wicked, I'm
You're never supposed
challenging.
to pull up.
I'm challenging you. I'm challenging all of you. I don't have a segue, so I'm just going to go into number 8. I couldn't think of one. I was stalling to think of one. Saints Row 2 is my number 8. And we've talked about the Saints Row franchise on the channel before, and I thought number 2 improved upon so many things with the first game. And number 2 is where I really kind of dove deep into the series, possibly the most into it, maybe 3 being the most, because it finally had its own identity in this genre of sandbox games, and I felt 2 knocked it out of the park. They did a fantastic job. Another game, if you haven't had a chance to play, check out Saints Row 2. That's my number 8. Number 8 for Bullet is Left 4 Dead. That was my number 10. Good pick, Bullet. DK says it was twice the size I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it's fucking huge. PS5 is huge.
You said as well.
My number 7 is Grand Theft Auto 4.
Not a
Great
bad
game. All around. I really enjoy games where I can run around and kill people. Very good stress reliever.
It is. It truly is.
Doing that keeps you from going out and doing it in real life.
Yeah.
For people. So,
That's also part of the reason I have my number one, my constant number one. But we'll get to that later.
Ooh, I thought you were going to spoil it already here in the
whoa.
show. We're halfway through the list, not even in. DK with a 100-bit donation. Thank you for your continued contributions to this channel. Much appreciated, my friend. Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hooray!
Yeah, look at that. You guys are good.
And then we'll go into my number 7 here. I actually have Rock Band 2. Just improved on the first one. Had some more songs. Lots of getting together with the band over at Trav's house and playing some Rock Band.
And this was the first year that we weren't actively in a band together either. We had moved on from other projects we were doing at the time together. I'd segued into another failed project, and I'll leave it at that. And then 2008 was the first time we just didn't have a thing. We recorded one song with Ben, and then that was the end of our music venture. So 2008 marked our segue into music video games rather than being an actual band. And that was it for us. We never got the band back together, if you will.
The only thing we never did was the never ending playlist or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
We didn't want to start it because you couldn't pause it. So if you had to go to the bathroom, you were screwed.
Yeah, and if you fail, you fail. DK says,
Yeah.
Ty, you should be a ventriloquist. You're not moving at all, but you're talking. I could probably figure out how to animate you.
Yeah, if you look very closely, you'll see that, really closely. You'll see that it's a cutout.
Do you move though?
No. I don't move because that's not possible, silly.
Oh, but you're floating right now. What is happening?
What have you done?
Nope, you're going back down in the chair. Sit. Okay.
Magic. You're welcome.
Yeah.
What do you got for number 7, buddy?
I was gonna say Rockman 2 though. That's not that was an honorable mention for me.
Okay.
But a lot of good memories with that one.
Oh yeah.
Number 7 for me is a game that it closed out the interest that I had in this franchise because it culminated a storyline that had been going at this time for 9 years for me. Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, closed off a storyline from Metal Gear Solid 1, and it's just I know they've made more Metal Gear games. Hideo Kojima is not involved anymore with it. There's a long story with that, and this was the last one that he was fully involved in. And it was a great swan song to Solid Snake and characters that I had been familiar with for a decade. And it closed off stuff from one of my favorite games of all time, being Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. I've streamed that with Lana once. I've streamed that on my own. And every time I've obviously talked so highly about this franchise. And to me, this was it for me. I know, again, there's 5 out there. I enjoyed it for what it was, but this was the last great one in the franchise. And if you played it, you know why. And it really showcased what the DualShock could do as well on the PS3. It showed the innovations in the tech and just Hideo and his innovativeness with what he can do in gaming. And he still knocks it out of the park today with an underrated title known as Death Stranding. That is another one I've played that I need to return to. I'd love to do that on stream sometime. But that game is another innovative one that is truly underrated. It gets made fun of a lot too, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that's my number 7. Trevor says, I have seen streamers have avatars instead of a face cam that moves as they talk. Not sure if you need a camera for that. I've seen that too, and I've seen a dog. I've seen a panda. I've seen I don't know what they use for that. I don't know the interest level from our viewers if you guys would want something like that. But maybe we could figure out how to animate Ty since he's camera shy.
Beat it, Ty.
They may like that better if I did that instead of seeing my face too. I don't know.
I mean, I would.
Ty as the mascot of DNA. What?
We do need a mascot.
Number 6, Devil May Cry 4.
Ooh.
I know it's not in the number 4 slot, unfortunate.
Should have been.
But very, very good game. I love the whole Devil May Cry series for the most part. I personally haven't played a bad Devil May Cry game.
DK says you weren't camera shy last night, and then you were on camera with Cody. You're getting called out here, Ty.
How about we all mind our business? You know?
Welcome to Airing Dirty Laundry with DNA. Your co-host tonight, Ty, the not really shy Ty. Tell us about what you did last night.
Actually, last night, I went to sleep. So I know that's a bit quirky, a bit unusual, but I went to sleep. So
it's weird to go to sleep
number 2, please describe your perfect evening out.
Long walks on the beach, and lots of ice cream.
I can get the ice cream.
It sounds like a good idea to me.
Except you don't walk on. Someone like pushes you in a wheelchair because you don't feel like walking.
Do you either of you listen to ICP? Every time I
love
think
the ICP.
Do you remember the Nedden game? That track?
The what?
The Nedden game, where they talk about the contestants and they rap basically being contestant on like a dating game show. It's off an old album.
Yeah, so let's keep it a bit more current.
We are going to keep it very current. In 2 weeks' time, we will be reviewing Yum Yum's Lore, the latest EP by ICP.
Delicious.
Coming soon.
Yes.
Number 6 is though.
Oh, yes. Let us continue.
Oh, my number 6 is going to be Grand Theft Auto 4.
Hey!
And we already kind of hit on it. It's just Grand Theft Auto games. They're fun. Go in, do things that you can't do in real life. Like, meeting up with women and then getting your money back from them.
How do you get your money? No? Elaborate. We're putting you on the spot. Contestant number 1. How do you get your money back from the hooker you picked up?
That would be you kill them, Alex.
Not Alex. This is not Jeopardy. Give me a cool name.
Alex. Oh, a cool name? Like Sven?
Sure.
Isn't that a cool name?
It's better.
Is Sven how you say 6 in German?
I don't know.
9.
That's how you say no.
I know. Oh, Lord. Standing on a bucket, trying to... Yup. Yes, sir. DK knows the song. That's a damn good song.
I don't stand on buckets.
You don't? See, even Trevor knows this song. You guys know your stuff. I'm impressed. You guys better be here then for that episode in a couple weeks. It's going to be a good one. Or not. Oh, yeah, there's that too. Or just not. Ty putting it out there. Just not be here. It is a big world we live in, but it's also a number 6 little big planet.
Oh my!
I tried.
I forgot about that game.
No, you did not. How do you forget about Little Big Planet?
I wanted to play it so badly, and then I just forgot it existed.
No, it is so amazing that it was
a lot of fun with that one.
Oh, there's a memory I will bring up.
Didn't you make a certain shape thing into a rocket in that game?
Oh, I made a lot of creations, but yes, there was definitely
a penis rocket.
There was a penis rocket. That was and we would try to slam it into things as fast as we could because you could trigger things to happen. Oh my god!
Yes.
So this was one of the few reasons that I got a PS3. That was this particular game. PS3 was a system I did not have at launch. One was the price point; it was too damn much. 2, I didn't have an HD TV yet, so I felt a Blu-ray system wasn't necessity yet, and I was too focused on the 360 at the time, as well as the Wii still. So adding a third system into rotation, and I didn't have the proper TV to really showcase its visual capabilities, if you will. It wasn't a priority. But when this game came out, it became a priority. And Little Big Planet is an amazing platformer, and it had an amazing abundance of community creations and designs that you could just build worlds and levels and do things like much like the penis rocket. You could play with people online as well, and they would enter through a portal. Keep in mind your character is a Sackboy. You're this little knit little guy. With your D-pad, you can make him do gestures, whether it be like laugh, cry, angry, among other things. You can dress him up.
That's what we did with that. Yeah, that's what we did with the gestures. That's what we did.
That's one of the things we did. You can dress him up. You'd unlock various things throughout the course of the game in its main story mode by the bubbles that you would find items. But also, if you would hold, I believe it was the L2 R2, you could grab onto certain things to climb or hang on to get over platforms. It was part of the game mechanics. But with that in mind, you could also move the arms with the joysticks and then holding the triggers down at the same time. Well, we found out that we would stand by the portals when people would join your world because they wouldn't load in until as they're joining, and then they'd be standing next to you. We've been making crying faces and then doing masturbation gestures as they entered our world at them.
Yes. That did happen.
That was, to me, one of the funniest gaming moments for many, many years by doing that gesture at people as they entered our world that we created to play with them online. You could also smack the person next to you if you did like a back and forth real quick with your hand, and it would knock them over and make like a funny cartoonish smacking sound. That was another funny thing. You could grab a hold of the person you're playing with too and then drag them along. It's just ragdoll physics is the best way to describe it. And I could talk about this game for a long time.
Hours of fun.
It really was. And like I said, the creation suite is what made it even better. And it had a great story. And it's a kid's game too, at its core. Like it's designed for all ages. And we've made it inappropriate on so many levels. Like I don't know.
Well,
that is my number 6. Bullet has SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 as their number 5. But Ty, what is your number 5?
my number 5 is Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh, I feel bad now that I talked about it earlier the way I did.
It's okay.
You
I
just said there
enjoyed
was
it.
things that were better.
Yeah, that's the power in opinions because mine can be different from yours.
It's true. It's true.
And I enjoyed that game. So yeah,
DK says this is why we can't have nice things.
yeah. The option to beat up your brothers is always one I would take.
I mean, it's true. Smash Bros. Again, it's a great franchise. So take what I said earlier with grain of salt.
A grain of salt.
Then go into my number 5 here. Slide on in. I had Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, which we kind of hit on earlier, and it was just anything to do with Star Wars. I'm pretty much in on, and will enjoy it. And they did a good job with this game. It was a lot of fun.
Can I spoil something? I'm trying to remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. If this is the first or second one, DK, that's a great question. Before I give my thought here, who doesn't like to smash? That is a great question. I don't.
Love smashing.
It's true. The Star Destroyer. Is it the first or second game where you bring it down?
I believe that's the second one.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I played those.
It's been a while since I played both of them, so they kind of blend together.
Yeah. And they came out like back to back too, so at least I feel like they did now in retrospect.
Yeah, we kind of hit on a little earlier. And again, it's a Star Wars game. So for me, I'm gonna like it anyway. But it was well made, and even people that aren't giant Star Wars nerds liked it. So
yeah, definitely play it. Do yourself a favor and play it. My number 5 is I don't think it's my favorite in the series, but it's up there. Fallout 3. I do love a good RPG. I do love the Fallout franchise. Anything post-apocalyptic and survival, where you get to go around, explore, and collect. Sign me up. That's my kind of game. And they just have the ability to do these ones really well. This takes place in a fallen DC and like Boston almost. I think it's primarily Washington, D.C., because the capital obviously is one of the center points of it. I had played through this game so quickly that I beat it before they patched it. And why I bring up the importance of that is if you beat the game before the patch, you're done. You can't continue. They patched it so you can continue playing missions after you beat the final mission. But I had finished it before they even patched it in. So I had to go back and find an old save to even continue and redo certain aspects of it. I've learned to have 2 save files in games when I do things, just because of glitches and bugs and various things, so I don't lose progress. Because I'll be honest with you, if I play a game that's 20, 30, 40, 50 hours long and there's a bug 40 hours in, I'm not going to go put 40 hours in again in that game. Unless I really, really, really love it. That thing is done. I got my worth. I'm done.
Fair enough.
Yeah, call me bitter, but I'm sorry. Like, that's not acceptable to me, and nope. Not going back if it's broke. But yeah,
All right.
that's my number 5.
My number 4
Yep.
is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1. I am a big anime fan, and my family really, really, really bonded over playing Naruto Ninja Storm 4 and 3. So I'm very certain that if I had been aware of this game when it came out, and I think it was June of 2008, I would have enjoyed that game just as much as I have enjoyed the later releases.
I remember this one being advertised. We've spoken many times on I need to be educated in that world, because I'm not. I'll be the first to admit. I'll go like on surface level as far as anime.
Not for everyone.
It's not that it hasn't been for me. It's just, and I think I've spoken to you off air with these remarks. I'm intimidated by the amount of content.
Right.
Like any of these anime shows that are like critically acclaimed or like have huge fan followings, there's like hundreds, if not thousands, of episodes and years of content.
Correct.
And it's
And
like,
on top of that, especially for animes like Dragon Ball Z, for example, there's an entire series that isn't even considered canon in the universe. Like
that's too much for
Yeah.
me. Like Dragon Ball is the best example I've always had too. It's like, where do I begin? And then I've had so many people tell me different time periods, and then if you like this, you should really go back and watch the origin stuff, like when he was a kid. I'm like, but I don't understand any of this, and the art style is so different. Like there's certain art style of anime that I really enjoy, there's certain art style that I don't. There's like, I don't know.
That's all. Yeah, that's all fine. You know, you just gotta maybe the mainstream animes aren't what you would be interested in.
You know what one I do love though?
What?
Pokemon.
Pokemon is a great show.
Absolutely love Pokemon. It's an amazing anime. The original series is so good, so good.
I agree.
And it's why I spent like $80 to have it on DVD.
But I robbed V4. What's your number 4?
Number 4 for me is Little Big Planet.
Wow.
And it was one of those, I played it a lot with you, Travis, and it was one of the few games that me and my sister actually played a lot together, because they had it over at their house too. So it was just fond memories of being crazy, doing stupid stuff. And it's one of those that wasn't really frustrating if you couldn't do things, because it didn't have to take itself. It didn't take itself too seriously as a game, so it was kind of a fun thing to think back on for that time period for me.
Yeah, it's simple, it's fun, it's easy to learn and understand. And again, I could gush on that game for an entire episode, as you already heard
Oh
in
yeah,
brief.
oh yeah. Quick side note. Trevor says, check out My Hero Academia, only 4 seasons, and it's about superheroes. And I could second on that recommendation because I also got Cody into My Hero Academia recently, and I enjoy it. I think you'd like it as well.
Now, for those listening
So
as well, where is that available? Is that on streaming platforms
that
right
is
now?
on Hulu.
On Hulu, which I have. So that
Yep.
is fascinating. I need to utilize that service more. So I will add that to my list and check it out. Bullet says, speaking of Pokemon, their number 4 is Pokemon Platinum, which is
And
a
what would
great
yours
game.
be?
Great question. Mine is another beloved game, which I consider the best in this series, and that is Fable
Oh,
2.
wow. Fable. Love Fable.
Absolutely love Fable. Unfortunately, obviously, the original creative team and studio is no longer around. So whatever
Oh,
we're getting in the future, as far as a Fable game, I really hope that they are inspired by particularly this game. But what made that franchise so good? And that's my biggest worry, that they're just keeping the name alive and not the spirit of the series. But we'll see. We've seen remakes that are good. We've seen remakes that are bad. I'm just hoping this is one of the ones that are good. Because Fable 2, honestly, got it day it came out. Fell in love with it. The story's fun. I love just the quirky humor to it. I love being able to have a Paragon system where you can be good or bad. I thought that was a really neat thing.
mhm.
And your character actually visually changes depending on your actions in the game. You can get married. You can murder people. You can lure people into a dungeon and have them murdered. There's collectibles, hidden areas. There's just so much content. The art style is so unique. It's just a fun game. It's a fun little RPG. And if you're going to play a Fable game, I highly recommend Fable 2 be the one that you play. Because it captures all the elements of Fable 1 and improves upon it. And it's not as, I don't want to say boring, but 3 just didn't do it for me. And the reason it didn't deliver on a lot of the promises they said it was supposed to. That's my critique of 3, but we're not talking about that. Fable 2, my number 4.
But speaking of threes, my number 3 is Lego Batman.
Ooh.
Lego Batman scores so high for me because I love Batman. I enjoy the Batman Arkham Knight series. I enjoy Batman in general. And it is also a very sentimental pick because this is one of the games that helped me bond with my younger siblings, my 3 younger siblings. They all take turns partnering up with me to end the game. I've ended this game like God knows how many times. And that includes collecting the secret little pieces and getting all the studs and creating your own character. That was one of my favorite features of it, where you could create your own character.
I do like that,
Um,
yeah. See,
yeah,
you got to find me in the game?
yeah. I did find you, the Riddler.
No, the studs.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Yes. That's my number 3.
All right.
I Rob.
Into my number 3. Trev already hit on it. I have Fable 2 as my number 3, and that was the same thing. This was actually the first game I played in the Fable series. I liked this one so much I went back and played Fable 1 and then 3 when it came out. But you kind of hit on all the things that are pretty great about it. It's and for me to like it as an RPG tells you that it's got to be pretty good because I'm usually not super high on those. So
No, that's definitely not your genre, and that's why I found it interesting that... Because I felt like that was a mission for me for so long, to get you into games that I liked. Because growing up, like our early roots, you were the sports guy. You were the sports gamer guy. You didn't play the weird, like, nerdy games that I was playing. So it was like a mission. I was like, how do I get him to get into the games that I think that are cool? And
This was one of the first ones that we both, I think, like not necessarily like because playing games together, we got into it. This was the first one where you had me play it, and I actually did a lot by myself.
Mhm.
I think
it's a good game. It really is. Also a good game, though. My number 3, which you actually came with me to pick up at a midnight release at the mall. This was a few weeks after I had gotten back from my trip from New York City, so I was very much excited for the release of this because it takes place in New York City. And that game is Grand Theft Auto 4, which held for a long time as one of my favorite GTA games. Bounced back and forth with the idea of that in San Andreas. But just the world that they crafted, the story, the improvements that they made as far as the vehicle responsiveness, so they didn't feel like driving a boat anymore. It was just a fun game. And the bonus was hopping online with your friends for the first time and going to the airport, having one person start at one end and then you start at the other and crash head on into each other. Or going to the Empire State Building and just jumping off. Like, just stupid things like that that we would do to just test the physics of the game.
So relieved to know everyone else did psychotic shit in that game, too.
Yes, that's
yeah.
we're living out things that, ideally won't actually really cause harm to ourselves, but our curiosity is in the back of our mind.
I remember me and you one time trying to time it right where we could both bail out and hit each other like the people would hit each other in the airport.
Which is just so much of that stuff.
Like, to get it to time right, I think we spent an hour before we got it once, and it was like the greatest thing ever.
It was. And honestly, like, it's just such a standout thing, and it's weird that I didn't recreate or we didn't have those moments with GTA 5. But I think it's just because different time, different availability. It just wasn't as prominent in our lives at that time, and we'll speak on that as we progress through the years and how gaming has changed for us as we go into be somewhat more responsible adults. So,
all right.
But yeah, that's my number 3.
Number 2, Saints Row 2. Another game where you can just mindlessly murder. Probably wasn't the best game for maybe 11 to 12-year-old me to be playing. But neither was GTA, and no one complained about that. My fondest memory of this, though, is staying up till like 12 a.m. with my older brothers and doing the little 2-player thing where you had to go find a bike and then go to like this alley and you could pick up the second player, and it was really fun. And the cheat codes just so enjoyable. A game that I will always remember,
It is a fantastic one. I agree.
Right into my number 2, which is also Saints Row 2.
Hey!
And we talked about it before with the original Saints Row. I actually prefer all of the Saints Rows to the GTAs. And it's not knocking the GTA games because they're great, but I like how it's more cartoony and just out there in the Saints Row games.
Me too.
I enjoy that. So kind of everything that Ty brought up for it and what we brought up when we were talking about the first one on the earlier podcast, which you should go listen to because you can hear our sexy voices some more. But just
always a plus.
but just I really enjoy them. I recommend if you haven't played, again, like kind of Travis said, Saints Row 2 is where it kind of branched off into getting a little more of the cartoony. So if you got to pick one to play, Saints Row 2 is the one to try it out on. So.
It is. To recap here, Bullet said their number 3 was Fable 2. Their number 2 was Lego Indiana Jones, and they've given their number 1 already. They're running ahead of us, but that's okay. Spider-Man Web of Shadows is Bullet's number 1. Chad, if you ever want to give us your picks, too, and participate in these, feel free to do so. Again, join us on Tuesdays is normally when we do these episodes. Special Wednesday night this week. We're doing 2 episodes tonight, so stick with us. We're doing back-to-back. We're going to take a brief standby break after this episode, and then we're going to talk about 2009 right after this. So stick with us. But we're going to wind down here. My number 2 pick is Gears of War 2. And this one, as I've talked about on the channel before, Gears of War is a fantastic franchise, except for Judgment. And I've said again, and I'll say it
I
again.
actually like that one too.
You like that one?
I do.
Nobody likes Baird.
I do. He reminds me of you.
What? What?
Don't like reminds you of you.
Why? Rated, thank you for the host.
Hey, Rated.
You want to know why Baird reminds me of you?
Yeah, because nobody likes Baird. Does nobody like me? Is that why it reminds you of me?
No, because
I like you.
he doesn't. People think he just tells it like it is.
Okay, that's a fact. People don't like that, though. That's, I think, the problem. Listen.
I like direct communication, so maybe that's why we get along.
It is, and that's how more people should be. Don't sugarcoat shit. Look at me, viewers watching the video. I'm honest. I speak the truth. You don't like that? Sorry. Deal with it. There, I said it.
Ooh.
But I'm real. I keep it real. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry, really. See, I'm keeping it too real.
Sorry, bro.
Didn't mean to sidetrack you, Trev.
Hey,
you had Gears of War 2.
I did have Gears of War 2. It improved upon so many things. It improved upon the online, and improved upon and expanded upon the world and story. It gave us heartbreaking moments. Increased the bond between the two main characters, Marcus and Dom. And then it added so much backstory too that we started learning about, and gave us like the little snippet where we were like, well, now we need Gears of War 3 because of what happened at the end. What the hell is this? That trilogy is such a fantastic trilogy. It really is. And yes, we gotta keep it real. REEL, the RDNA podcast. Which our next episode of that coming up in the month of August, Detective Pikachu. If you haven't watched that movie yet, you should, because we're going to be reviewing it. I can't wait, because is it good? Is it? Yes.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it yet.
What? For real?
For real.
Okay. Well, obviously you have to for the review, but
I will.
You should have before this, but hey, it happens. Rated says Gears of War is just a great series in general. That is fact. Cody facts on a Wednesday.
Honestly, it is one of my, like, right there, if not the best, my favorite, like, series of games ever.
They're fun. So. They're absolutely fun. They're gritty. They're raw. There's a chainsaw gun. I know I've said it before. I'll say it again. There's a chainsaw gun. Come on. Shit, yeah. Anyways, number 1, let's close out this beast.
Number 1, a constant mainstay in my number 1s, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. As you'll come to find, my number 1s will most likely always be WWE games, simply for the sheer amount of sentimental value that they hold for me. As I stated before, almost family tradition to play WWE games. My mom played it, my dad played it, my mom played it, and that's a big. And so, even when the mechanics are bad in the newer game, 2K20, we're looking at you, WWE games still hold that special place in my heart.
That amazing dumpster fire of a game.
You beautiful little dumpster fire, you.
Yikes. And yes, Rated, we are closing out 2008. Stick with us, we're doing 2009 next. Rob, what's your number 1 game?
You want to take a shot at it, Trev?
Do I want to take a shot? Oh, at the game? Or
yeah, what do you think my number 1 is?
Oh, Lord. Gears of War 2?
You got it. Shouldn't be a shock from what we talked about before. They're just some of my favorite games ever. And Some of my fondest memories ever is going over to your house and playing horde mode for hours at a time. So
I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
They introduced, it was 2 where they introduced horde mode, wasn't it?
I believe
Yeah.
so. I'm pretty sure.
And,
And that
holy
was
shit, man, that changed the game.
we played horde mode so much, and it was still fun the entire time. Like
We honestly have horde
Uh.
mode to thank for Firefight in Halo ODST, and then Firefight continued as like a thing, and that idea of you versus waves of enemies. I'm sure it was in games before, but like the formula was perfected with Gears of War 2.
and you could team up with people online and do it too. And I know we did that where it was me and you, and we'd get random people, and
Get as far as we could.
yeah.
So
And
much
it was-
fun.
So yeah, like we've talked about it a bunch. We could keep talking about it if we wanted to, but
It's true.
my number one, Gears of War 2. So
And to close out the year of 2008 in gaming, obviously there's so many other games that came out. If we've missed your game, please leave us a comment in the comment section wherever you're listening or watching this. We want to know what you thought. And if you want, give us your top 10. Give us your honorable mentions. Do whatever you want. The comment section is yours. Just don't be a dick. Please. Give us that
unless
thumbs
your
up.
name is Richard.
Yeah, unless your name is Richard, then you can be a dick. Give us that thumbs up. Give us that follow. Give us that sub. Whatever you want to do, help us out. But my number one pick for 2008. I've played this on stream, and every time I've played it, there's been something wrong with the stream. Where the frame rates or something happened. One day, I promise you I will do a proper playthrough of this game because I love it so much. I know it like the back of my hand. When did that mole get there? The game is... Hold on. That was the laugh track worthy thing. Anyways, Dead Space is my number one pick for 2008. Sci-fi horror game. If you know anything about my interests in video games, this is the epitome of the things that I enjoy in gaming. You are on a solo mission, basically trying to figure out what happened, find a significant other, and the Ishimura, which is just a sweet name for a ship, for one. Just the environment, the spookiness, the scary aspect of it, the fact that you have to shoot the limbs off the aliens. You can't just shoot them to kill them, per se. You have to shoot the limbs off them, and then you can stomp
Is this the
them.
one where they had the movie that you made me watch about it too?
The anime, yes, there are 2 animes that feature
Yes.
a prequel and then a sequel to this game, bridging the gap between the first and second game as far as story. So Isaac Clarke, he's an engineer, and he's the main character. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm not going to go far in that. In the future, I will do a proper playthrough. If you're interested in the game, obviously you can find it pretty much anywhere now. It's an old game. You've probably seen it played a million times. There are speed runs of it as well. And again, I'll do a playthrough of it one day. But this game is amazing. So good. So good. Any other thoughts on the year 2008? I was 23. How old were you?
I was 7.
Jesus.
Oh God.
A baby boy.
I
Mhm.
don't even remember anything from when I was 7. So the fact that you remembered playing video games is shocking.
You know, here's a thought for you, iRob. This is just our feeling old moment. The year he was born, we printed our first CD, and we went to a mall to have somebody listen to it to see if we could get a record deal.
That we did.
That was what was happening when Ty was born for us.
Yeah.
So
And they lied to us and said they liked it.
that's not a lie. It was awesome. This is great. Next.
Was that the one we recorded by ourselves in your basement?
It was on a 4-track tape recorder. We did some amazing things, okay?
Oh,
They were good times.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, though, this has been episode 123.
definitely.
Go ahead, you got a last thought.
Just general thought on that time period. Even it was all fun. It was good times,
Of course.
fun times.
Of course. Wouldn't trade it for anything. Ty, any closing thoughts before we take a brief break before 2009?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the... let me start over, gosh. I had it all down.
The A. This has been the A.
This has been the year 2008 in gaming as part of our ongoing series until we come concurrent with current times, and then it'll be a yearly episode instead of a every other week episode, because we're going to run out of years. We might just do one whole episode for the 80s collectively, because, let's be real.
I don't know how many games I've played from the 80s.
You've played Mario Bros. So that should be everybody's number one. But there's also E.T. out there. Come on, guys.
Oh, God.
It's true. But this has been the year 2008 in gaming. If you want to hear about our opinions on the other years, we do have those archived on podcast platforms. Check us out on Apple, Google, Spotify, plus many more. Search Dose of Nerd Acumen. Find us and check out the All the Good Culture series of the 90s. We break down more than gaming. We talk about movies, wrestling, comics, music, and more. That was part of the original format for All the Good Culture. We have trimmed the fat, and now we're talking about just our top 10s for the years for now. Will we return to this series and do movies in the future? Who knows? Anything can happen. This is our show. We can do whatever the hell we want. So again, thank you for listening to 2008, episode 123 of The Dosage. Coming up in just a few moments, if you're here with us live, will be the year 2009 in gaming. Following this live broadcast, Mikey will be on the channel playing a game after 2009. So stick with us. We have a lot of content coming live here on twitch.tv/Dose of Nerd Acumen. And we'll be back in just a few moments. What's up? Welcome back to the Dosage Podcast. We're live here talking about the year 2009 in gaming, the year that I was 24 years old, and I'm with iRob, the one, the two, the three, the fourth one, iRob, the illustrious man standing tall at 5'6", weighing in an impressive, what, 205?
$195.
Oh, man.
195.
195 pounds, hailing from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I don't think they claim me, but it's okay.
Rejected from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay. Also with us tonight, sitting on the casting couch.
Giggity.
Ty is here.
Ty.
The great Ty.
The great Ty. See, I did it the opposite. I gave iRob the hype this time, and then Ty was just mediocre.
Yeah.
Do we feel
But
balanced now?
No.
Do I need to favor you again?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, sitting on our couch tonight, the creator,
The innovator.
the innovator, the best, the entertainer, every week, the one and only.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes he says, the one and only,
Hi.
Ty. He's the Ty guy. He loves to entertain your ears.
Wednesday.
He loves to
I am pretty
entertain you. Anyways, welcome everyone. We're feeling slappy tonight. It's Wednesday night here. We're recording this a day late again. I had Tuesday off this week. I was attending a concert, the Hella Mega Tour, which was awesome. Glad you asked, and I'm glad I shared. It was a lot of fun, though. But we're talking about...
me.
I did not take you. I'm sorry.
You did take your wife, though, so I guess I can forgive you.
Okay, as you should. Let's paint the picture, though, shall we? We're here to talk about 2009, not about last night. That's what he said. The year 2009 in gaming. Square Enix fully acquires Eidos Interactive, the publishers of the Tomb Raider and Hitman series. This is important because of things to come in the upcoming years, so stay tuned with our show. We're going to be talking about the importance of this acquisition in the years to come. E3 2019 in Los Angeles was showcased many new games as well as new motion controllers for both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Sony's new iteration of the PlayStation Portable handheld was also revealed. The PSP Go is the first handheld console to forego the use of any physical media, opting to use digital download only. I still have my PSP Go. I thought it was a cool, fun little design, great idea, and it's a fine system. Just wish it had better games. Gamescom 2009 held at Cologne Trade Fair in Cologne, Germany, where Sony unveiled the new version of its PlayStation 3 consoles. The 120 gigabit PS3 Slim, which rebranded the PlayStation 3 using a new logo as well as a new exterior design. Batman Arkham Asylum attains a Guinness World Record for most critically acclaimed superhero game ever. Apple launched the iPod Touch 3G that year, and the launch of the new Sony PSP Go, which was met with mixed reviews due to its high pricing in comparison to its predecessor, the PSP 3000, which was the third iteration of the PSP handheld, which had slight adjustments to how it was built, as well as the screen and various other things. So that is the year 2009 in gaming as far as painting a picture in the important events. Let's talk about our honorable mentions, though, before we get to our own personal top 10 picks for that particular year. Do all of us have honorable mentions?
I do not.
I have one.
All right. Ty does not have any honorable mentions. iRob has one. iRob, what you got?
So this is my honorable mention just because of how much you liked the game. I have Halo Wars.
Oh, you did a nod for me, you say.
I did. It came out that year, and it was Halo. It was the real-time strategy, which you love both of those things, so you played it quite a bit.
It's true. You're not wrong.
So that was my one honorable mention I had for 2009. Just throwing it over to you because it's at least one of your honorable mentions for this year, I'm sure.
Do you think it's an honorable mention or a top 10 for me?
I don't know. You've been surprising me a little bit because some games that you've been putting in for honorable mentions, I know you played a lot. Yeah. I'll put myself out there. I think it is in your top 10.
Rated also says top 10. So here's the thing. When I pick my top 10, I consider the lasting power and importance of these games. Also, like you said, what I played around this time period. So I kind of weigh both opinions on that. And then I combine the thoughts, and that's how I've ranked these. With that in mind, since Ty does not have any honorable mentions, I have a handful. Again, surprise, surprise. I will power through this as fast as I can, but also giving reason and validation to my honorable mentions instead of putting them in my top 10. Because I know people love to hate on the internet. That's just what they do. So I welcome it. Hate, hate, hate. Leave me a comment. Get mad at me. Get angry. Don't give a damn. Honorable mentions. Skate 2.
Wow, I'm now mad at you.
For real?
Is that the reaction you were hoping for?
Sure.
Yes.
I need a little bit more bass in your voice, though. That's...
Oh, sorry. I hate you!
Now you sound like my kid.
Okay.
He's about the same age as your kid, isn't he?
Whoa, no.
Wow. Wow, Wubsy.
What kind of show you think we do here?
I am not a child, okay? I'm a big boy.
Oh. I'm just going to tell you, I remember working with someone and working at the gas station days who direct quote, I am 18, I am a grown-ass man. Someone told that to me before.
I was.
That wasn't you.
But I was a grown-ass man at 18.
Whatever you say, dear.
Dear? Don't dear me.
Well, does that mean I'm a grown ass man?
It's true, you are, Ty.
All right.
I don't
You're
even think
still
I'm a
going through
grown
your
ass man.
honorable
So,
mentions,
there you
right?
go. Yes, he is.
Okay.
What you got next, Rap?
All right, continuing
Spaghetti.
on. Honorable mentions. Fear 2 Project Origin. This is a horror shooter with a really good story, and I would love absolutely for them to do a remaster or re-release of these games on modern consoles, because they're a lot of fun. They're hard to find now for whatever reason, and they're not backwards compatible on the Xbox One, which is kind of frustrating, to be honest with you. So even if you were to find these games, you can't play them unless you have a 360 or on Windows. And that's unfortunate. Rated says Fear was good, but didn't make my top 10 either. Fear is a great series. Two is a standout for me of that series. Another honorable mention, I've played this one all the way through on stream, and then you could hear my frustrations during the entire run of that game. Resident Evil 5. I love the Resident Evil franchise, the number one specifically, and this, I have a love-hate with the game. If you want to learn more about that, check out the Let's Play that I did on the channel. Guitar Hero Metallica. It's Guitar Hero and Metallica. Like, there's no other need to describe that other than if you want a real challenge, play this game. Because literally, like, every song is expert. I don't think there's a song on there that's not expert as far as difficulty. The Godfather Part 2, the game. Another fun sandbox, kind of like, obviously, Mafia, Godfather type game. This one was really cool. You could basically have little sections of the city that you controlled and did different missions with that. Fun game. It's sad that they didn't continue that franchise, at least to my understanding. UFC 2009 Undisputed. This was like probably my prime time period for me being interested in the UFC. I knew pretty much every fighter. I watched every UFC pay-per-view, and I played every UFC game. This one I was even pretty decent at online. The one and only rare occurrence where a fighting game that I'm good at online. But I put a lot of time into this one, so it was a really good game. Prototype, underrated game, and a lot of fun. Another sandbox game, which came out around the time that was kind of in the shadows of games like Infamous. And I think that's what hurt this particular game's reputation, because Infamous was a better game. Also out this year for honorable mention, Ghostbusters, the video game that was played on our channel. It's considered like a third film. That's how much effort they put into the story for this one, and even including getting the voice talents to be in the game. If you have not seen or played Ghostbusters, the video game, I highly recommend it. Guitar Hero Smash Hits, Guitar Hero 5, the Beatles Rock Band. As you can see, music was prominent as far as the stuff that I was consuming. I was buying every stupid little music game and expansion at this time. That includes my next honorable mention, DJ Hero. Yes, there was a DJ thing that you could pretend you were a DJ, and I had to buy it because reasons. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Saw, the video game. This game was garbage, but I love the Saw franchise. And I played it, and it was bad. But it's an honorable mention, nonetheless. Demon's Souls. Basically the game that crafted the Dark Souls type of gameplay. If you want to be punished in a game for not being good, play a Souls game. And definitely try Demon's Souls. Very innovative, very new for what it was doing. Brutal Legend. If you like Jack Black, play Brutal Legend. This game is so out there and so weird, but it is so fun. Highly recommend it. And it's got a little bit of mix and tower defense partly through the game, which blew my mind because I had no clue what the hell was happening. SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. Sorry, Ty.
Wow.
Bayonetta. If you like Devil May Cry and you haven't tried Bayonetta, play Bayonetta. Bayonetta is fantastic. If you like God of War type games, Devil May Cry, basically like the beat 'em ups, Bayonetta is fantastic. Lego Rock Band, Band Hero. As you can see, there's a common trend continuing. Dragon Age Origins, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that being an honorable mention. I'm sorry, not sorry. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Left 4 Dead 2, Assassin's Creed 2, and Guitar Hero Van Halen. Those are my honorable mentions, and you're like, well, what the hell's in your top 10 then? Stick with us. We're going to tell you. Ty, let's talk about our top 10.
All right, coming in hot with my number 10. They're your backyard friends, the Backyardigans the game.
What? Elaborate, please, because I am so lost right now.
I did not know that the Backyardigans had a game, but my favorite show when I was growing up was the Backyardigans. The Backyardigans, SpongeBob, Little Einsteins, Wonder Pets. Those were my four most watched shows ever. So when I saw that the Backyardigans had a game, I had to put it on here.
Okay, what is a backyardigan?
A Backyardigan? Okay, so there's these four little kid characters that play pretend in their backyard. Their imagination was so extravagant that they could literally create whatever they were imagining. It was one episode, they were being international super spies, and their backyard just morphed into an actual Sabai Island, and they had costumes and all. But in actuality, they were just a bunch of kids playing around in their friend's backyard.
I think we might have missed the generation gap on that one there, Trev.
Yeah, I've completely missed out on that. Rated says that they remember that episode, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also getting hate for not having Assassin's Creed 2 in my top 10.
I don't have it in my top 10 either. So
See?
we can get hate together, bro.
Boom.
So it wasn't in any of our top 10. So there you go.
Hate on us all.
Sorry, not sorry.
My number top 10 here, I have Resident Evil 5. And this game, while I did play it, and it is in my top 10, it also made it where I haven't played another Resident Evil since.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that before, and that makes me sad because and I've said this before too, they've brought it back so well. And even 6 is worth playing through because it is better than 5, and I feel that's a subjective opinion, probably not a popular one. But I'm sad for you because while I understand and I have abandoned franchises before when a game just is really bad, I think you should give this series a chance and get back into it.
I tried, and like I said, I played it enough where it is my top 10, but it kind of killed it for me. My want to play any of the ones after it have been pretty non-existent.
Fair enough. Rated says Assassin's Creed 2 is one of the best in the series up to Black Flag. Black Flag is one of the best in that franchise for sure. 10 is Resistance Retribution for Rated. Well, my number 10 is probably an underrated game or underappreciated game. I don't see this on many people's top 10 lists at all, so I felt it was necessary for me to include it because this is an actually really good game, especially during this time, because raise your hand, because this isn't a thing that exists too much anymore. Do you remember when every time a film came out, they had to make a video game adaptation of such film? How many of those are good?
You.
Not many, right? Well, my number 10 is X-Men Origins Wolverine. This game is incredible. You upgrade Wolverine's abilities by getting various combos and moves with his, what do you call them? His claws, I guess. Yes. It plays like a God of War game. It is a hack and slash bloody game that loosely follows the movie named after the movie. And honestly, it is so good, even down to the Sentinel battles towards the end of it. And and you collect little health things and orbs to level up and gain experience, again, to master new abilities and powers, and then finishes. And it's just a bloody mess of a game. Like, you claw through people and slice them up, and it is so good. Highly recommend it if you can get your hands on this game, which you probably can. Again, I don't see a popular opinion many places on this, but it is a really solid game. That's my number 10.
Alrighty.
Ty,
What you got for number 9, Ty?
My number 9 is Tekken 6. I've always been a big fighter game fan, and Tekken 6 is another one of those games where me and my family just all gathered around and played it. I know that's become a common theme for the things that have been on my list, but that's just the way it is, brother.
That's just the way it is.
Nothing wrong with that.
Just the way it is. You know?
Right. If we want to roll into my number 9, I had Guitar Hero Metallica. And for the same reasons that Trav said, it's a Guitar Hero and Metallica. So if you know anything about those two, throwing them together, you know what the game's about. So
the thing I really like, if you're a big Metallica fan, some of their like notable venues that they played at with their stage setups, in the career mode, it touches on like just that, right? So from their roots to stadium stardom, I felt that was a nice little touch. There's not too many in the game. Like, I think there's only like 3 or maybe 5 periods of time that they highlight during their career up to that point. And then you could download Death Magnetic, I believe, on top of that. Or that could have been with a Rock Band. I don't remember.
I'm not sure either. Some of them blend together. I can't tell you exactly what game had which, but
that was the problem, because there was too many at this time. They oversaturated it, and they ultimately shot themselves in the foot with that. Just too many. I mean, you listen to my honorable mentions. Half my honorable mentions were music games, and this was just in 1 year.
Yeah, it was. And then Guitar Hero did it to themselves, where I think you had 5 that were just Guitar Hero games that came out this year.
Yes, and Band Hero.
Yeah, which was them trying to put like drums and stuff into it, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Too much.
Number 9. What is your number 9, sir?
My number 9 is a popular one for Andrew Lana, which would be higher up on her list than it is mine, and that would be The Sims 3. I always love a good Sims game. They're a lot of fun, and I enjoy each and every one of them, but I wouldn't make any of them my number 1 unless there was not a lot of other things that year. But The Sims 3, again, it improved and perfected upon things from prior releases, obviously improved visually, gameplay-wise, mechanically. My biggest critique every time a new Sims numbered game comes out, it means you have to start over. You go back down to the bare bones after you've had so many DLCs for the prior generation's game, and then you have to wait and spend $30, $40 on each DLC pack as they come out and build back up the features that were once so readily available in the past ones. Specific things like even just getting a pet. You had to wait for $20 to $40 expansion to get a pet. For pools, you had to wait for that. For apartment living, like, it was just, it's a money game, and like, I was at that age where I started to learn that it was a money game. I became aware, and I'm like, well, you little dirty bastards. I see what you're doing. Taking all my money. But yes, Sims 3.
Not just yours.
No, everybody's. Ty, what you got for number 8?
Oh, for number 8, Earthworm Jim 2. So, Earthworm Jim.
Not mad at it.
I didn't play too much of it, mostly because I would get stuck on like every level ever. But I just really liked his head. The fact that his head was so thin and slimy really was the funniest thing in the world to me when I played it. So that's why Earthworm Jim is on here. No sentimental reasons. I just thought he looked really funny.
Oh my god. You know how they put like review quotes on the back of movie boxes when you buy the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Thin and slimy. is like that snippet from this episode now that would be on the back of the DVD box of
His
this.
head is so thin and slimy.
So thin and slimy. Ty, 2021. What the hell?
Oh, how am I supposed to follow that up?
I don't know. Thick and dry?
Oh. Well, we'll just keep moving on, I guess.
Yeah, please do.
My number 8, which I don't know if a lot of people would like it, but I remember I played it a lot, and I think it was because I got it in a discount bin. But I had The Wheelman.
Oh, I remember that. It was like a rip-off Driver game, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're trying to capitalize on it, but I liked it. It was a little different, where basically you could get jobs where you didn't actually like rob the bank, but you were the wheelman on different things, and you had to do different challenges and progress through it. So it was like, if you want to take like the driving kind of from GTA, but that's all you do is you just drive. I just remember I played it a lot, so and it was a good time killer at the time for that period for me. So that was in as my number 8.
I mean, if you could find a good game in the bargain bin, that's, I mean, in itself noteworthy. So I can't say I've played it, so I don't have any insight on it. I remember what it was, but I never played it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the discount bin. Throwing it back here at a Blockbuster when I got it.
Damn, Blockbuster! Shout out, sponsor us. Oh wait.
Oh darn.
Anyway, my number 8 is Halo 3 ODST. Cody's not here to shit on me. But that's my number 8. It's a fine game. Like I said, it introduced Firefighter.
It's not Halo.
It is Halo, but like the best thing about this game was the mysterious advertising before the game launched on what it was going to be, and then the game came out, and it was just like, are you just killing time before the next Halo game? Like, what is this? I guess.
We talked about the other one. For me, the way I say that is they changed the health system in it, and it just, to me, that it made it where it wasn't Halo.
Yeah. The thing I do remember, I don't believe this was a full-priced game. I believe it was only $39 at launch, which helped. Because it was a fairly shorter game, and there just wasn't a lot to it. It's not awful. It is, to me, the worst Halo game, though. What you got for number 7, Ty?
Number 7, Cooking Mama 3, Shop and Chop.
Is there a Cooking Mama game every year?
Probably. and the kicker
Can we say to expand on it more, or should we just let it go at this point?
No, I want to hear it. What's unique about this
one? The funny
one?
part is that I didn't even play this one.
Oh,
I just put Cooking Mama on the list because Cooking Mama. So
it's like, I'm forever invested in the IP. I will forever support Cooking Mama. I don't care.
Cooking Mama.
So
Cooking Mama for life.
What if they had a spin-off? And hear me out.
Uh-huh.
Called Cooking Dada.
Cooking Dada?
Yeah.
I don't know. Might make me act up a little bit on that one.
Can't
would
that
what would that game be about? Would he be like at the barbecue?
Cooking Daddy, bro.
So
He
instead,
just, like,
because I'm assuming she's in the kitchen, right? Would he be at the?
she's
like,
in the kitchen. So he's like at the bar.
He's at the bar or the
making,
barbecue.
like, fried food, and he's like cooking at the barbecue, but he only knows how to make hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's
until you
level
get
1.
further
That's
up.
level 1.
Yeah,
you gotta work
get
up.
further up, and then you're like grilling the ribeye steaks and the spare ribs and all that.
We gotta stop. We can't put, this is like, we should be marketing this to people.
We
Yeah.
are. This
They
is
owe us
our
money
idea right
already.
here. We own
But
this.
it's out there for everybody to have, so they could just take it now. We
No,
gotta keep it under lock, man.
We own this. So you should start out with he's burning the pork chops, yelling at the kids. Yes, and he has a Miller High Life in his hand, and he's got like a mullet and like a porn stash. This guy's cool. And he's got those old like Macho Man aviators, like the old like multicolored sunglasses. That guy is so cool.
Well, speaking of, we'll go into my number 7 here. Um, uh, and just because it was one of the first games that I bought for the Wii, and I had Punch Out for the Wii.
I always forget that you had a Wii. That's so weird.
Yeah, I didn't get it at launch, so I was a little late. But this was one of the games where, just boxing on the Wii, so boxing and stuff. It was fun. Like,
I remember when that came out. I was living at the apartment at the time, and you could see in through. This makes me sound like a major creeper, but whatever. You could see through the window, like their main living room window of the apartment across the way from us, and the TV. You could see. I mean, it's like right in the window. They were playing Punch Out, and I'd always just kind of like stop and watch for a moment when I'd be walking in or whatever. That's the only memory.
If you ever played Punch Out, you know what it is. It's for the Wii, so you actually like move Max and throw the punches. Good times.
It's a good series. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Punch Out, unless you have to move around. You said what now?
Well, did you do your number 7 yet?
Oh no, my number 7. You were guessing whether it be this in my honorable mentions or my top 10. Well, it's in my top 10. My number 7 is Halo Wars. I love a real-time strategy game. I grew up playing Command & Conquer on the PC, and you develop and make a game like that, but in the world of Halo, with Halo vehicles, with the Spartans and the Covenant. Of course I'm going to like it. Of course I'm going to buy it. It's on a console too. Yes, sign me up.
Of course you're going to play it for hours.
And I did. This is another one I even played online against people because I thought I was really good. I got humbled. But I tried, and I had fun, and I did win some matches. But the thing that really bothered me, that I enjoyed so much in skirmish mode in Command & Conquer, was just building massive bases, basically building up like a giant beehive of units, and swarming the other base and just taking them out in one fell swoop. Like hundreds of infantry, tanks, you name it. That was my strategy in Command & Conquer. Very effective one, too. Time-consuming, but effective. Well, there is a cap in Halo Wars. You could only have so many units on the screen.
You just made the list!
Storm, thank you for the sub times 7. That is amazing. 7 months now. You just got yourself an entry, too, towards a controller from Design Labs. So best of luck when we do the raffle on that. And again, thank you so much for that sub. With Halo Wars, there was a infantry or unit cap. And I can't believe it's been 7 months either, Storm. That goes by quick, doesn't it? We've been a channel in 2 months for 4 years. That's crazy. I've been doing this every week for 4 years straight. But with the cap of the characters, so like infantry would be like 1. Certain vehicles would be like 2, 3, or 4. And then your giant, like depending on the side you were on, you would have... like a scarab if you're on the Covenant, right? Which is like their giant like thing. And then the crawl, I forget what it's called. The elephant, I think, was the Spartans, the UNSC. And that would take more units, but you could have those bigger ones as like spawning points or other base builders to expand. And then you couldn't build your base, if I remember correctly, anywhere. You had to build them at specific plot points on the map. So, like, it limited strategy, and everything was just kind of, like, restricted as far as what you could do to try to take over. It was just very simplified. While I understand that's welcoming for newcomers to RTS, for veteran people of RTS games, that kind of sucks. And I'd like to say they improved upon it in Halo Wars 2 when they came out. They didn't. So, and a lot of it, I think it had to do with because it was on console. It was a console restricted limitation. Like, you just can't render that many things. It would crash the game. That's how I feel is what the decision was to do that. But it sucks. It didn't make it awful game, but it just made it not as fun as it could have been. But yeah, that's my number 7. Sorry, long-winded on that one, but that one I had to add that stuff.
My number 6 is Mirror's Edge. Yeah. We never. Okay. So with Mirror's Edge, it's sort of like Earthworm Jim, except I didn't think the character looked funny because it was in first person. But we never got very far. Like we were awful at the game, but we loved the idea of it, and we loved what little we could figure out how to do. We literally spent hours failing, but jumping around, trying to do the parkour that the game requires you to do.
Let me ask you
Um,
this.
yeah.
Have you ever partake in parkour?
Me in real life?
Yeah.
Hell no.
He said, hell no. Why not?
You never can. Well, does it count if I've been on the roof of an abandoned building before?
I mean, that's just being on the roof of an abandoned building. Were you
Yeah, we
jumping
were
and doing?
walking around on it. Yeah, we were walking around, jumping over holes in the roof. Very dangerous stuff
So
to be
yeah,
doing at like 13 years old.
I guess I could consider that parkour.
Yeah, like
Beginner
very,
parkour.
very beginner's
Beginner parkour.
parkour. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wasn't doing any barrel rolls and none of that. No, sir.
You ever watch, like,
But
I found myself on many moments going down weird rabbit holes on YouTube, which is easily done.
mhm.
People doing, like, just the weirdest things for parkour with GoPros mounted to themselves. And
Oh yeah.
I love the look, the looks they get from other people just watching. It's just the most puzzled looks. Like, why? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And like the satisfaction people get from doing parkour, they just feel so good about themselves. And I don't understand it. Maybe because I haven't done it, but it's the strangest thing.
And
That's my TED talk on
yeah.
parkour.
I'm glad that you feel so passionately about parkour, Travis.
It's just a misunderstanding, I guess, if it's not passion.
So into my number 6 here, might shock people, but I have Plants versus Zombies.
Why would that shock
Wow,
anyone?
love that game.
And for me, it's fun. It's it's a good time killer, and it's got staying power because I still will sometimes pull it up. I have it on my phone. Just recently downloaded it on the Xbox because they had it for free for Emmy. That's one of her favorite games, so my kid likes it. So it's in there for me just for mostly just for mere staying power because you can still go back and goof around on it to this day.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that sentiment. I think you're accurate. However, it is not my number 6. My number 6 is Borderlands.
Oh, love that for you.
You love that for me?
It's a great game.
It is a great game. It's I loved the art direction in this. That's what initially drew me to it because at first I didn't understand what the game was. Once I figured out the loop of the game, that it's basically a looter shooter, right?
Right.
Mixed with RPG elements. Then I started getting the quirkiness of the character design and then the missions and the completionist aspect and exploration. I was like, this is brilliant and unlike anything else out at the time. And I fell deep into this game. Still love the series to this day. They've had a few misses during their time. But ultimately, I think it's a very solid franchise. And if you've never played a Borderlands game, you really need to. Number 5, Ty, what you got?
Number 5 is Resident Evil 5.
Oh, he did it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Number 5 at
I
number
know,
5.
I know. You're welcome. You're welcome. I've graced you all with such a beautiful present
You
of
did.
convenience.
You did.
Well, well, my number 5 is Resident Evil 5.
He did it again.
Because relax. I know, it's exciting. But it's Resident Evil 5 because as with most games that make it to the high end of my top 10 list, it's sentimental. I've played it, maybe the first shooting game I've ever indulged in. I'm not a real big shooter game fan, but I've played it night and day with my brothers. To completion, multiple times. Very fun stuff. Who doesn't like blowing aliens' heads up? I mean, zombies, sorry.
I mean, they could
Mind
be
is wandering a bit.
they could be classified as aliens, I suppose.
Well, they're not
Technically,
human.
well,
So,
technically, to the main characters, where they were at in the world, they were considered aliens to them because they were a foreign
well,
nation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you're trying.
I'm
You're
trying to
trying to help
defend
me, and
your.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate you trying to help my mess up there.
There's anything else? You got awkward
No,
silence.
Okay. We'll go into my number 5, which I have Wii Sports Resort. Added some new games into Wii Sports, which we've talked about on an earlier year. And again, just one of those where everybody could play it. Time killer. And one of me and Amy played on our Wii together. Yeah, that one's my number 5.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Number 5 for me was again a surprise hit. Batman: Arkham Asylum. It was a franchise that desperately needed revital. Not a franchise, excuse me. A character that desperately needed a hit in the world of gaming. And they knocked it out of the park with this. They started with a simple concept, an isolated area, small, with unique environments, exploration somewhat, more so for the Riddler's items. But they drew the raw, dark aspects of Batman and just made it more adult and more aggressive. And it was just, it birthed a credible series of Batman games that we have. And I'm not mad at any of them, even though a lot of the later ones got mixed reviews. I've enjoyed all of them. And I'm sad
I
that
have as well.
I'm just
So.
sad that the franchise is done for now, and I'm curious where Rocksteady goes with their next stuff. I guess we'll see. But that is my number 5, Batman: Arkham Asylum.
okay, great. My number 4 is Worms 2 Armageddon.
Oh, good game.
Right. So my favorite part of this game, and I'm really hoping that I'm not misremembering this as a different game, but they had an item in the game called the Holy Grenade,
Mm-hmm.
Holy Bomb, and it would literally like sing when it blew up and leave the most massive crater I'd ever seen. It'd be like, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. And then boom, and there's just like a giant hole in the ground. And it was the greatest thing ever. You had to be there.
No, the Worms games are great. I love their little one-liners that they have when you play. Like the
So
little
good.
things that they say, like if you miss, if you hit them, or if like just like while you're patiently waiting your turns too, they have little one-liners. Very like
Yeah.
cute series of games. Very simple concept too, but it's a fun game. They're fun games.
I
Indeed.
agree.
We'll go into my number 4, which for me was just a game that I played a lot at the time. But I have Fight Night Round 4. So if you don't know what it is, it's boxing, but you can create your self and work through work your way up to becoming a champion. And I am also one of the weird ones where I didn't use the. If you played the game before, there's the option to use one of the joysticks to do your punches, and the system doesn't work how they designed it or they wanted it to. So I always go back to just using the buttons. But yeah, played that game a lot. And I think if I'm remembering right, that was also the one where when gamer score was a big deal. Basically, just playing through the game, you get 100% your gamer score on that one.
Mikey says Fight Night games have always been oddly fun. I agree, except for Champion. Fight Night Champion, F that game. In the story mode for that, they put you in scenarios, and one of them you started like in round 2 or round 3 with a broken left hand, and you had to throw combinations to defeat your opponent, but you couldn't without harming yourself, and you had limited health already because you had a broken hand. I had a broken controller after that, and I was done with that game and that series. So thank you.
I played through that one, and I can. The champion, my hardest part was the first time when you have to box like the boss guy, and nothing you do to him hurts him the entire time.
Yeah. Just give me a traditional like story where I'm fighting people, not situations. Like, I don't need all that. My number 4 is Infamous. This game is absolutely what I look for in games. Open world environment, collectibles, mission strands, the ability to have good or evil with a Paragon system, and just so much fun. And it really showcased the abilities of the PS3 visually. It's a fun open world sandbox. It's literally every game that I look for, and it crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's with all the things on my list. Check out Infamous, and it's spawned an incredible series of games, and I hope they return to it someday soon. What you got for number 3, Ty?
My number 3 is Pokemon Heart Gold. Now, I'd like I'd like to put a little asterisk on this because technically it wasn't released in North America yet. It was released in Japan. But it was such a good game when it released over here that I seen it and I was just like, you gotta get on my list, buddy. So my number 3 is Pokemon Heart Gold because the people who made it had hearts of gold.
Not Souls of Silver.
No, not Souls of Silver. Hearts of Gold.
Okay.
And they provided us with such an amazing game. We were not worthy.
Mikey's playing Champion on Game Pass right now, going back to the Fight Night thing.
It is free if you want to play that right now.
Don't do
Game
it.
Pass.
Don't do it.
But
Don't do it.
my number 3 release here was Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection.
Oh yeah.
Because as Travis will contest, I had a lot of Genesis games. That was the system that I had growing up. And they made games for it forever, if I remember rightly. They just kept coming out with more.
Yeah.
But that one popped the one disc in, and I could play all my favorite Genesis games for hours on end. So
Specifically Sonic 2.
that was definitely one of them. Also, Streets of Rage was on there, I believe, which is a great game.
We played through that on Classics Lounge.
We did, but that was on there, and just so yeah, I know it's people might want to get technical. It's not a new game; it's just a collection of a bunch of Genesis games. But it was released that year, and I played a lot. It's my number 3.
It's allowed. I allow it. My number 3 is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. I absolutely love this franchise, and 2 is considered by many the best in the series. And if I had to give it some deep thought, I would probably agree. I'd have to do a lot more thinking and breaking down the things that I like and hate from all of them, but 2 is definitely a standout. And the way they write the story and how you play through it, how it circles around on itself, I thought was just very clever. And it ups the ante in the adventure and cinematic moments from the first one, and it improved upon so many things. Check out the Uncharted series if you haven't yet. Highly, 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 highly recommend it.
All right. On to number 2.
Mm-hmm.
On to number 2? Yeah? Okay. My number 2 is Plants vs. Zombies.
Brains.
Now, this scored so high because... And I hope that clears it up. So, I'm just kidding. Plants vs. Zombies is such a fun freaking game. And I'm really surprised that it came out this long ago. Like, I felt like when I first played Plants vs. Zombies, it had to be somewhere in maybe like 2014, maybe at the latest or earliest. Yeah, earliest, at the earliest. Excuse me. Almost died. But I didn't think it was as old as it was. It is still a fun game till this day. And I do mean the original, not even the spin-offs that came after it. The original, I could still sit down and play the original for hours. Amazing game. And I do recommend if by some fraction of a chance anyone has not played it.
Yeah, it was in my top 10. I mean,
Yeah,
Wonderful games again.
it is a good game.
and my number 2 is going to be Skate 2.
Ooh.
Look at he did
Number
it.
two.
He did it.
He
I did
done
it for my number 4 too, and you didn't even notice it. But well, I'll leave that there.
Oh,
He seemed really upset by that.
must have been distracted. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my number 4 was round 4.
Oh, I was too angry thinking about Champion that I was distracted. Because once you said that, I immediately thought of Champion. I'm like, fuck that game.
But yeah, so Skate 2 was kind of just built on Skate, and was another one where I don't know if I played it. I know we goofed around on it a lot, so it's just fond memories of. And then trying to do the biggest wipeouts we could at one point. Was a whole day. So
yeah, because I think it showed the broken bones in that one. Was that the one where when you wiped out it showed various things? I don't remember.
So.
It's been a minute. I know the first Skate game just got added this week to Game Pass if you guys are looking for a Skate game to play. And then Skate 3 has been on there for a minute. So check that out if you're into the Skate games. They're fantastic if you like skateboarding games. Good pick. My number 2 is Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh, made it into all of our top 10. So what's that telling you?
Number 2, Plants vs. Zombies?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's telling you that it still today is even a fantastic game. I remember waiting in anticipation for the sequel on mobile. It was called It's About Time, and that's what I was thinking. It was about time for a damn sequel because I want more levels. I've looped this story over and over and over again. And I've attended my greenhouse growing plants and getting coins and done that for so long. I was like, I need something more. There's been a beta for the third one for a while now. I don't know when the full release is actually happening or how far along in development they are. It spawned, obviously, into a major franchise. They have third-person shooter games that you can play on consoles. Those are actually pretty fun. And even to this day, my oldest son plays... he prefers the first one. It is a little bit more inviting and easier than Plants vs. Zombies 2. But he will play over and over again, and then he knows every plant name, all its abilities. He knows every zombie and what it does. Like, he became obsessed with that game. And that right there tells you something. It's inviting, and it really...
The fact that we both all said that we still play it now, and it was it 11 years, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Came out?
And it's holding higher rank than other games, like major console games that had a high budget. It brought my interest into tower defense as a genre as well, too. It's a genre I didn't know I liked or loved even. And so many clones exist now, and I've played so many clones, and I've had almost as much fun. But Plants vs. Zombies will always be a special game for many more reasons now.
Yeah, because I can feel it for the more reasons. Because, like you said, so Atticus plays it. Emmy's gotten into it a bunch, so like it's almost fun. Like you're watching the next generation playing a game. It's fun.
Yeah, it's cool to share that, and then just to see somebody play something for the first time, and because you'll never. That's the thing about things. You'll never experience that first time with a game or a movie ever again. And those are special emotions or feelings. And a lot of people quote this. You'll never be able to go to opening night for like an Avengers movie ever again, right? You'll see newer ones, and you'll get to be opening night. But like, there are moments where you played Mario for the first time, You'll never do that again. You'll never experience that very first time playing that game again. Just like Plants vs. Zombies, you'll never experience that first playthrough and learning the game and learning what each one does again. Like, it's sad, but like it's so cool to see that next generation to do that, because then you're living through them, through their experience. But let's wind down here. What is the number one game of 2009 on your list, Ty?
Take a guess.
You already said Plants vs. Zombies, so I don't know.
No. SmackDown versus
Oh,
Raw.
I should have known better. Damn it.
I told you.
Spoiler.
It's going to be a mainstay. The only time that it hasn't been number one was in 2007, where Guitar Hero was number one because of more sentimental value. Sentimental value is the winner.
That's a good game. I love sentimental value.
Yeah. So, yeah. SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 is the number one pick for me for very much obvious reasons.
What's special about this year's version?
About this year's version, honestly, I have no notable memories.
He just loves the series.
I just
win
know that
what.
I played it and I enjoyed it, and we all enjoyed it.
That is a
and that's all that matters to me.
True dedicated fanboy.
Yeah.
You were committed.
That's okay.
That's respectable.
Yeah. It was probably awful. I don't know.
I'd like to take a shot or a guess at yours, Rob.
What do you think I got?
It's a certain Cape Crusader.
You would be correct.
No, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
My number one is Batman Arkham Asylum. And kind of like how you hit on, it was I think needed at the time when it came out. And I remember spending many hours even after I beat the story, getting all of the Riddler trophies and just figuring out what you had to do to get all of them. And just many hours into that, and like you said, spawned the series that I played a bunch of all of them. So for me, that just there wasn't anything. If I had to, it would have been 1 through 10, based on other games that came out that year. That's how much it was like ahead of everything else for me.
Yeah, like I said, I don't disagree. It was my number 5 pick, so it's a great game. Now,
What you got for number one?
I was going to say, here's the biggest question. Does anyone want to take a guess, take a stab at my number 1 pick? I love the anticipation and suspense here.
It's going to be a game. We know that.
It is a game.
It's Leisure Suit Larry.
It is not Leisure Suit Larry.
I don't even know if that came out this year or not. But
I don't think so.
You know what? A Halo of some sort? Did a Halo come out?
We mentioned Halo 3 ODST and Halo Wars. That was 8 and 7.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I am puzzled.
It is a game I still play to this day. It is a game I also now share with Atticus. It is a game he watches Let's Plays on every single day. It is his obsession.
Mario?
Mikey says Nickelback the game. That would be fantastic.
Nickelback the game.
I would play that.
Guitar Hero Nickelback?
I would play that. Batman says Resident Evil. Nope. All right. Minecraft.
Okay.
He said, huh.
Yeah, okay.
Well, if you want to continue the narrative for some of these, what would you think I would say about Minecraft?
What would you say about Minecraft?
What would I say about Minecraft?
That it's not for you?
Kind of along those lines. I have never played it or had a want to in my entire life.
You've never played Minecraft?
Not once.
Dude,
Wow.
I've bought that game like 5 times. I have it on
So
my
iPhone. Played it enough then.
I have it on my iPhone. I have it on the PlayStation. I have it on the Xbox. I have it on the Switch. Where else do I have it? The PS Vita.
I can tell you that Minecraft does have one of my favorite videos of someone gaming I've ever seen. And it was where someone had built the entire, was it? I want to think it was the Hogwarts school.
Yeah.
And we're trying to put fire in a fireplace and dropped it and burned the entire thing to the ground.
Oops.
And they were like 99% done. They were doing the finishing touches and went to go put fire in a fireplace and placed it wrong and burnt the entire thing.
Oops.
And live streamed the entire thing.
Oops. For me, like, I loved Legos growing up. So does my oldest son. Like, he absolutely loves Legos. And I love just kind of the idea of like a survival craft game, so that I have to rummage around, build my own tools, be creative, and just build my home to protect me from skeletons and spiders. But then also there's this lore to it. There's an underworld. There's an Enderman. There's, all these things that can kill you, but there's missions, and there's like this dragon. Like, there's just so much lore and things to the game. Like, it's not just like everything is blocks and you build blocks. Like, that's so simplified and disrespectful to what, Minecraft is. And like you said, what people can create. They created Hogwarts out of just blocks. That's incredible. Like, the endless creativity that is capable in this game is really what makes it special. And your only limitation is yourself and your creativity and your imagination.
What you're saying is you like to be creative?
There are moments where I feel that I enjoy being creative or having an outlet like that. I would say yes. That's a safe assumption of my intrigue.
Mm-hmm. Creativity is great.
Yes, it is a great outlet. I adore the game. I'm glad it's a thing. There have been many clones since, but nothing will touch it. And I can't wait to see the future, because that game has evolved so much too.
It really has.
It's a special game. And I'm happy it exists. It's why I deserve.
And you're a special guy, Trav.
And I'm happy I exist. So.
Yeah, I'm happy you exist, bro.
Group hug right now, guys. We're doing this.
No.
No, he said no. Oh, God. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been our 124th episode of the Dosage Podcast. Of course, if you're here with us live, thank you for chatting. And as always, for the subs, for the donations, for everything you guys do. For those listening back on podcast platforms, we're glad you are, because we'd love more listeners there. If you want to know where to find us, we're on Apple, we're on Google, we're on Spotify, and we're on so many more. Just search Dose of Known Acumen. Follow us, like, subscribe, comment, share. Let people know we exist and where to find us. We are a group of passionate gamers, streamers, and nerds. We love what we love. We just love what we do.
We love what we love.
We do. And I can't thank everyone enough that has supported this passion project. For those that have been here since day one, thank you. For those that are just joining us, thank you. Everyone makes this, I almost said the C word. We can't say that anymore. It's been taken from us. We are... Our fellowship, yes. Our bond is forever.
We're a group of like-minded individuals.
We are. And we are all very special. Pat yourselves in the back, because you guys are the best. But again, if you want to stay connected with us, we have a Discord. Stay a part of the conversation between episodes. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any social media. We export everything we do on YouTube. Find us there. We have almost 900 videos on demand during our 4-year history of the content we put up. That's a lot of stuff to watch. And I still feel like we haven't done it all. There's still so much more to talk about and do. And that's exciting, because that means there's still much more to do. And we're going to keep doing it.
You'll see more of us yet.
You will. So enjoy. Sit back and enjoy the content that we're giving you. Damn it. But mostly, thank you, Ty, for being a guest on this one. Shout out to Cody, who couldn't make it. Safe travels while they're out. And, of course, the co-host of another podcast that we do here, Rob. You can check.
We always keep it real.
Oh, he said it. REEL. The RDNA podcast.
Fortunately, he did say it.
He did. He did.
Unfortunately.
I did.
He did, though. That's
no,
the
that
thing.
fortunately.
Fortunately.
Not un.
It's true.
No, fortunately.
Fortunately.
This is a great misfortune.
No, it's a great fortune. You can find us on the RDNA podcast where we review video game movies. Our mission? To find the worst one. Check us out once a month on a Tuesday. You know where to find us. Twitch.tv/DoseOfNerdAcumen. Again, thank you all for joining us. It's always a pleasure. And until next time, everybody, take care.